Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. I Heart Aries. My name is Chelsea, and this is the channel where we do all Aries readings. 1 second. I'm trying to skip this. Okay, and turn it down a little bit. Am I live on the right channel? Let's make sure of that first. Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Martha. Hello. So, the chit chat won't be too long since I'm starting in the middle of the day. I did my self-care routine this morning instead of in the evening because I will have visitors, guests, again tonight, more family coming in for the new year. Taking a little day trip too, so I got to get going because I also want to do the weekly. There may or may not be a morning energy reading tomorrow, because my guests might be up here sleeping and they might hear me. But if you follow me on Instagram, look out for tomorrow because I might do a cold plunge. I'm not sure at my gym. I might do that. So hello everyone. Hello from the UK. Where are you at in the UK? Is it Umit? Dundar? Hello. I used to live in England. All righty. Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on here. How are you guys doing today? We're going to talk about the our new beginning of the year challenge too after this as well. And then I'm going to go record the weekly. And while I record the weekly, I'm going to let a video play that I did last night. Surrey. I'm not sure what that is. All right. Hello, everyone. So let's see what the overall energy is for today for you, Aries. Or what do you need to know? Holy Spirit, President Angels, please allow me to clear message here for the Aries collective. All right. Yes, love when I get this card. I needed it too. Look at this. It is intuition. Queen Nandi. Love her too. Number 35, intuition. Before I read it, let's pull the rest of the tarot. Hello. Let's take a look here. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon. Let's see here. What is the message that Aries needs today? I miss you guys too. I was anxious to get back, especially when I had to rest a little bit more because I was sick. I was ready to post that day, but ooh. All right, let's take a look here for Aries. What is the message here for Aries today? What do they need to know? Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. I may clarify with a different deck, but we're going to leave it right there. 8 of Summer at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take this as the overall energy. The 8 of Summer or the 8 of Cups is an energy of walking away from something emotionally, letting it go, getting over it, not allowing it to affect you anymore, leaving it behind so you can go find your happiness or what completes you. It says the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on and choosing to make major life changes. I just realized the mic was all the way over here. So this is the 8 of Summer. 8 of Summer, right? So we have intuition. Let's take a look at this in the African Goddess Oracle. African Goddess Rising Oracle. Let's see here. All right. So this says this is a goddess of intuition from Zulu. Temple is the queen's element is fire. All right. Queen Nandi was the mother of warrior King Shaka Zulu. His father's royal family first rejected her. They said that she wasn't pregnant and her belly resulted from a Ishaka, a beetle sting, but Nandi knew her son would be great before he was born. All right. So Queen Nandi's guidance says, you already know. Take a deep breath and surrender to what you know to be true. Trust your inner wisdom and guidance. The embodiment says, what is your guidance telling you? Put your hands over your third eye, the center of your forehead, and ask, if I knew what the answer is, what would it be? Then follow your first instinct. Okay. The creator and your ancestors connect with you through your intuition. Trust your internal GPS. The nudges, signs, and coincidences are divine guidance. They're all guidance, guys. Okay. Slow down, go for a walking meditation, be present with nature, and pay attention. Being present allows you to feel, hear, see, and sense your guidance. The goddess declaration says, I am knowing. I am knowing. All right. I am knowing. You know it. Okay. You know it all. You don't have to go outside of yourself. Sometimes we go to people for confirmation for things, but we usually go to people for confirmation because you have an inkling of something, right? Most times. Or even the urgency to want to know something is usually triggered by your intuition, right? When am I going to do this? When is this going to change? I know it has to change, right? Like certain things like that. So, yes, it's live. Okay. So, anyways, I'm not going to look at the chat because that always distracts me. The lovers here. The Lover's card is the first card, and it says true love that is long lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health. The Lovers talks about duality as well. Okay. Aries, this could be a choice, a decision that you have to make between love, between a person, between yourself, between something that is healthy, between something that is not healthy. This could be also be spiritual alignment to source, connection, something that fulfills your purpose or your true desire. Okay. In the simplest term, it could be a soulmate, right? But a lot of things we can have a soul connection to. And we have the Lovers here. We have the Four of Swords. This card talks about rest. It says, set aside your concerns for now, and you can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep, or a vacation. Okay. The Four of Swords is slowing down. It's resting so you can heal and so you can think clearly. Whether you're actually physically burnt out, mentally burnt out, right? Or you are so worn down from tragedies, because remember, before the Four of Swords is the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords in the tarot represents heartbreak, pain, deception, painful truths. So then right after comes the Four of Swords. Now you get to rest from that. Now you get to heal from that. Now you also get clarity. You know, when you remove yourself from a painful situation, you can see the things that you couldn't see a lot clearer once you're out of it, right? Which is why it's so important for the Four of Swords. Okay. And then we have the awakening. Okay. The spiritual awakening, the epiphany, the seeing things from a different perspective. So now that you have a full awareness of a situation. It says, change the way that you're looking at the situation, embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. This, well, I don't know what he is here, but it's usually a man. It looks like a fairy. Yeah, because this is the fairy tarot. A fairy here is suspended. All right. He is suspended here. So he cannot move forward. He cannot move backward, because where he is at in this moment in time, there is something that he needs to see that he is not seeing. A lot of times we get frustrated. We talked about this yesterday, or I posted a video, it's about to be posted today, where we get frustrated in not moving forward, not moving backward. We call it being stuck. We feel like we're being stuck because we feel like we should be further than where we are. But in a lot of cases, it's actually spiritual protection that we're not moving forward. Maybe because there's something that you can't see ahead, that your spirit guides are saying, hey, we're making it aware to you, but you're not looking in the right places, or you're not listening to your intuition, or you're just not getting something. You're looking at something from a victim mentality, or you're looking at something from an angry place. And we want you to see this from this perspective so that you can heal from this and you can move on. It's not necessarily a punishment. It's so you can get it right and that you don't have to repeat it again and you can move forward. Or sometimes this could be a pause in action, because it could be protection from something that you don't need to move forward into. Sometimes we try to push relationships forward that maybe we're not seeing the red flags. And you're like, well, why is this not moving forward? And Spirit's like, because you're not seeing everything and it's right in front of your face, right? Different scenarios there, but it calls for an awakening. Okay. Listening to your intuition. Okay. And that's kind of the premise of this. Aries, when I'm seeing these three cards together here, could have to do with a relationship, a situation that it's time for you to take a break from, heal from, rest from, or go within. Use your time to meditate, to relax, to rest from something so you can see something very clearly. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Right? Maybe you are transitioning. Maybe you need a break from someone. Maybe you need a break from just the love thing altogether. So you can see maybe what you need to change, what you need to heal, what you need to fix. And then boom, the awakening happens and you move into a beautiful new situation. All right. This could be a situation where you just need to take a pause in action, Aries, because you could see something differently than what you're seeing as you're seeing it. Okay. Lovers can definitely have to do with a relationship. All right, let's clarify. Let's use these and clarify these and see what else is we come up with. And Bruno's sleeping right there. So cute. You know, you just every time you see your dog sleeping in a cute position, you almost want to take a picture. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Star card on top of the Four of Swords, which is interesting because the Four of Swords can represent healing, and so can the Star card. Tell me about awakening. Beautiful. And the Four of Wands. This is so beautiful. The Knight of Swords. So we took this, the 9 of Swords. We took the other one from the bottom to clarify. So we're going to do that as well. And this makes plenty of sense because we got the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Swords clarifying the 8 of Cups, meaning that there's something here that you're stressing about worrying about, that you need to kind of leave it alone, walk away from, leave it alone emotionally, right? And usually that's when the answer comes. Usually that's when clarity comes. I literally, right before I got on here, I clicked off of a video of Willie Nelson talking about how worrying never served anyone, right? Most times the thing that you're worrying about never really happens, or it's not as bad, or you're worrying and you're just never going to get to the solution of the problem because you can't get there from there, right? So you got this 9 of Swords energy here of feeling stressed out, anxious, worrisome, sleepless nights. And the 8 of Cups or the 8 of Summer is saying, get away from it. Let it go. Release it. Okay. We got the Page of Swords here, which this could be information that comes through, communication, truth, messages, clarity. A very talkative, chatty person. Sometimes this represents somebody spying on you, or looking for answers, seeking answers, and it's connected to the Lovers. Okay, so do what you will with that. The 4 of Swords, clarifying with the Star card, talks about healing, releasing. 4 of Swords, so 4 of Swords, taking a break, not speaking to someone, healing from something, and the Star card, so you're able to release it or have a renewal of energy. Faith, optimism, hope after healing from something. And then the awakening card, spiritual awakening with the 4 of Wands. You're not going to be stuck forever, if you want to use that word. You're not going to be at a pause forever, because once you come to the full realization of the thing that you needed to be aware of, then comes joy, then comes happiness, then comes celebrations, then comes a good time. So there's something here that your intuition is trying to tell you, Aries, and this could be right now, whenever you find this message, something that is coming up here. And you kind of just need to take a break back. I feel like you may need to take a break back from a situation, a person, a situation, and you'll be able to see the thing a little bit more clearly. Walks are great. I went for a walk today. I was in such a meditative state. I forgot. I just started walking and I didn't realize how far I had walked. And I have pugs, poor things. I had to carry them halfway back. I realized I snapped out of my trance because I saw Pugsley looking for water puddles to drink from. I'm just gonna have to invest in a stroller for them. Because they're pugs, they're not labs, and they get tired, even though they get excited to walk. I'm talking about you too, Bruno. Yeah, so that is the message. That is the message, you guys. I hope somebody needs it. There's a situation that kind of this message is right on time for me as well, because it's like, even as a tarot reader, you be knowing, right? You be knowing. And especially when I pull cards and I was like, oh, Ace of Swords came out. So that's like, yes, that's a yes. And you be asking people questions. And I think a dead giveaway is when somebody delays and answer you something, or they don't answer you at all, or you stall. It's very difficult to lie to me. The one thing that I've learned, though, as someone who has this gift, this ability, this trait, I don't want to call it a gift because we all have the ability. I don't want to we all have this. Some of us just don't use it, which is why that intuition card comes out so much, because so many people do not use their intuition. They are trained not to use it. But once you do have it and you do kind of have it down pat a little bit, what you're going to learn is that it's exhausting calling people out on lies. It really is. It's not necessary. It's not important anymore. You just kind of like, okay, I take note of that and we're going to move on. That's kind of where you train yourself to go. It's the same thing with, like, if I come around people and I feel like they've been talking about me, happens a lot. It used to make me really nervous. You just being very empathic and feeling, but you have to tell yourself, people talk about people. Whether, used to be younger Chelsea used to be rah, rah, rah. Oh my God, why are you talking about me behind my back? Y'all talk about me behind my back. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about you behind your back. So it's like, okay, whatever, because if it's a lie, then who cares? If it's the truth, then okay. So, when you kind of train yourself to just be so, what is that? What's that book that I told you about? The 4 Agreements talks about this, where you don't take, one of the 4 agreements is not taking anything personal. And I know that sounds so crazy because you're like, well, what if somebody unalives someone? And what if somebody does this? And what if there's a purpose for everything? There's a reason for everything. And yes, it hurts. But, if you can kind of train yourself to live life like that, freedom, peace. I mean, nobody can take it from you. I mean, literally nobody can take it from you. When you cannot have anybody, when you don't have attachment to what somebody does or says about you, there's never a problem. There's never a problem. If you said this about me, she's a bitch, she's a hoe, she's a slut, da da da. All right, well, that's that's her opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only person that you can manage is yourself, and how you feel and how you react to something. I was answering a question on Reddit yesterday, and somebody was asking about revisioning, because Neville Goddard talks about revisioning, and you can revision, and it's beautiful. But if you work on your self-concept first, and I was telling them that my self-concept is everything that happens to me happens for a reason. And out of that reason, something beautiful always comes out of that thing, even if it's the most horrendous thing. I mean, you guys know I lost my mother, and it even applies to that, So if that is my self-concept, which I have hardened into fact, and now that is my truth, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it happened. So where do we go from here? What is the next beautiful thing that is coming from this thing that looks like a disaster, but is going to turn into a beautiful disaster? That is why it's so important to not just manifest. It's important to first work on your self-concept. How do you view yourself? How do you view your life? How do you view people around you? Because how you view yourself is how everybody else is going to show up around you. If you view yourself as a victim, everybody around you is going to show up as a villain. All right. That's just how it is. People are going to betray you. People are going to attack you. But if you show up as empowered and nobody can touch me, then everybody's peasants. No, I'm just kidding. No, then nobody can really touch you. Nobody is going to affect you. Nobody is going to disturb your peace. There may be things that you see that are very jarring because of this world that we live in, but even those things will start to be very few and far in between. And you'll be like, Chelsea, how have you turned on the news lately? No, I haven't. So no, I haven't. So that kind of turns that down as well. Yes, I've unfollowed a lot of news stations and things that create havoc and stress and anxiety. And, we can't avoid sometimes the mass things that happened, and we pray and we just know that people are in a better place. But other than that, as far as controlling your day-to-day life, I promise you, your life will be so much more at peace if you can find a way to not take things personally. This comes from a person who used to call my mother on my lunch breaks when I had a 9 to 5 because I was on the verge of cussing somebody else out again the next day or flipping the table. When I tell you I'm an Aries through and through, like I've been through all of those stages, the angry stages, the fighting stages. I wanted to cut people. I wanted to everything. It's more peaceful on this side, But I also think it's beautiful to go through all those stages. We always want to heal. We want to evolve, and we want to be this thing of a perfect person. But I look back at all of those stages that I've been through, and I needed all of those stages to get here. How boring would life be if I'm here now without any of those stages? You know what I'm saying? Like it would have been really boring. So I have a lot of exciting stories to tell, but I don't live those anymore. Free of judgment from myself and others. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm sorry. Let's talk about the new year, 2025. So for those of you who have been following me for a while, 4 years now, the channel has turned 4 years. It's turning 5 in 2025. That's crazy. YouTube just reminded me of that a few weeks ago. So we're do this beginning of the year challenge where I always tell the story about how I manifested this channel and writing the letter. I'll have to save that for another day if you don't know that story, but I will post the video where I originally told the story in my community tab after I get off of here. And the letter works, right? Techniques don't manifest, states manifest, okay? So just know that techniques don't manifest anything. Getting into the state of the wish fulfilled, these are just techniques that help you get there. Whatever works for you, works for you. Which is why we always test out a lot of different ones so you can find what works for you, okay? Now that I've learned how to get into the state just by visualizing, I've kind of left everything else alone, but I do like writing things down. I like lists. I like to, because they keep me on track and they work. It really does work. And so a simple way of manifesting that I love and I keep is using this little red book. I'm always going to be an advocate of this book because it's so simple. It's so easy. And it works. This is actually the one I got for my son. I wrote in it. I just borrowed it because I don't know where mine is. I have a hard copy. But it's called It Works. You could find this on YouTube, read to you. And I think it's no more than like 12 minutes, read from cover to cover, like so small. I tell people about it. They don't do it. Their lives are still shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do sometimes is kind of lead people to the water if they don't drink. It is. And I read somewhere that sometimes you can give people books and they'll never read them, which is why you should tell people about things, let them go do it on their own. I gift books because hopefully someday somebody will pick it up and read it. But so I'm telling you about it. I'm telling you about it. If you want to do it, you want to do it. If not, you're not. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on the main channel or put it. I mean, I'm going to introduce the challenge here on the main channel and then probably do a group on the lowest tier for the membership tab, which is like $2.99, I think. And we can do Zooms on there. I'll go live, but I like Zooms better when I can talk to everybody. Okay. And just a breakdown, because you're going to get this book and you're going to read it yourself, because that's where you absorb the information. You make a list, right? And it can be however long, but for the sake of this challenge, we're going to keep it at 10. I mean, we're going to do it for a year. So keep it at 10. I was going to do 5 at first, but we'll keep it at 10 things because that's a good number. And you're going to write things down in the importance, like the thing that you want to manifest that is the most important, okay, to you in the order of importance. And you're going to be very specific. You're going to say, I want a red Mustang convertible 2024 with peanut butter seats you could put a date if you're really testy. Dates work for me. But it's going to be within this year. It's going to be within this year, 2025, next year, excuse me. And you're going to put that in order. I don't want to say I want to, because I always put in I am. You could put I am making $80,000 a year by the end of 2025. You could put I am pregnant. I am happily married. I am engaged. I am, and you can be specific. The one thing that I would say, though, because some people get carried away, is that now you can script on something else, but I would keep your list kind of short and concise, right? Straight to the point, right? If you want to script about your husband or your wife in your notebook, that's fine. But make a sentence or two that implies that this is your thing that you want. Because the thing is, you're going to set an alarm on your phone and you're going to read this morning, noon, and night. Okay, you're going to read this morning, noon, and night. So you want to get you a small notebook or something that you can keep on you in your purse, in your car, by your bedstand, somewhere. Even take a picture of it on your phone if you can't carry the notebook with you. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that together. And as we, throughout this year, check off our list, and I will do the same. I will share it with you guys. Some of mine are kind of rolling over. So if I could share, I'll share. But tangible things I will definitely share with you. And just FYI, tangible things are the most easiest things to manifest if you're consistent. I mean, they really are. Things of healing and sicknesses and ailments may take a little longer, just because a lot of people's belief systems around that are more rigid. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do together. And I think we're going to discuss, obviously, you don't share your lists with anybody while it's in action. Okay. You don't talk about it with anybody. We're going to talk within the group, but you don't share what's on the list. You don't tell what's on the list until it's here, until you can feel it, taste it, touch it, and you want to share. You can. If you don't have to. But I'm going to at least, I think I will do it on the membership tab where every day I will put a reminder. I'll just come on and give you a reminder to read your list. You don't freak out if you haven't read it 3 times in a day, if you skip a day. I have done this many, many times. And I'll tell you for sure, there have been days that I skipped and things have still manifested. It's the consistency, not always the every single day consistency, but at least you continue to read it. Okay. So I ask you to not overthink it, to not stress about it. read the book. Everything that you need to know is in the book. And if you still have questions, go back and read the book again. Actually, the book actually recommends that you read it every day, because I read this book all the time and I still get new nuggets out of it. But one thing I know, anytime I introduce something, people will be like, but how do you do this? And but how do you do this? And what have you? And that's the reason why a lot of things never come through for people, because they overcomplicate it. It's just so simple. It's really so simple. So we have a few days. What's today? December 29th. Until the New Year's. The new year. The new year. We always say New Year's. We add an S. I'm going to light a candle for the Aries Collective. Nobody has to put their name this year, just for the Aries Collective, as I do this every year as a road opener candle for blessings and to remove any blockages out of your way. It's usually rainbow colored to represent everything: love, money, wealth, health, things like that. So, Aries Babe 19, I bought the book earlier this year when you recommended it. Have you read it? Have you read it? So you're ready. So yeah, this book is like $4. I buy it a lot for people after readings if I feel like their situation can use this anytime. Use it on yourself too. I mean, use it on yourself. I worry a lot less more. Don't always try to change the other person. Try to change yourself. Is there a situation where you feel like something is not going right? All right. You do need to read it, especially if you're going to join the challenge, because we're starting January 1st. It should be, if you order it now, I promise you it'll probably be at your house. But I mean, again, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube a million times. Let me see. Let me go on Amazon. Yeah. If I order it right now, this book will be at my house December 31st. So, yeah, and it's $4 even. There's no need to put any names. To join the membership tab, if you go to the description box on any of my videos, I'm not sure if it's on this one yet, the very first link will say something about join for more perks. I don't know if you can do it from your phone. I think you can. If not, you might have to do it from the computer. Yes, my mom, that was our thing. Romans 8:28. And it's beautiful. That's that's my son's name, if you guys don't know. I tell that story all the time because it was just so divine. I was probably about 6 weeks pregnant, and somebody sent me a Bible verse. It was Romans 12:12, I think. Let me see. I do believe it was Romans 12:12. Romans 12:12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. And I was not living the life where people were sending Bible verses. I was a dancer. I was working on bourbon. And I was stressed. I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Right. And at that moment, when that person sent me that Bible verse, my stomach fluttered. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, my baby just kicked. And my friend that I was with at the time started laughing. And she was like, you're 6 weeks pregnant. Your baby can't kick at 6 weeks. I was like, no, this child just kicked me. And at that moment, I literally felt, I was like, oh, I'm having a boy. And so I was like, you know what? If I have a boy, I'm going to name him Roman. And that was the story. I'd never had a girl name picked out. And I remember that I started going into premature labor early before I even found out what the sex was. So, you have to go to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room. They automatically do an ultrasound. And she was like, do you want to know what you're having? I was like, I'm having a boy. And she was like, yes, you are. And I kid you not, my son was born December 20th, 2012 at 12:05. His birthday is the same way forwards and backwards, 12, 20, 20, 12. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what all those 12s mean, but I always think that's so divine. All right. And he has a lot of 12th house placements too. All right. If there's no more questions, I'm going to get off because I got to go. I have to go see my family. All right. Talk to you guys later. Hope that you join the challenge. And if you have any questions about the membership, put it in the comment section of this video, not in the chat. After I end it, you won't be able to put it in the chat anymore. But yeah, and I will announce this again on every video. Try to get it if you can't get it in time. I always like to have a hard copy of stuff, but you can read it on YouTube. Okay, you guys take care. Bye.